the molds, the what, everything. And I think that lake is likely to die.
So because we're building in the wetlands.
No, but we have destroyed all the wetlands in Kampala, because we see, I think the argument is that you cannot keep wetlands in the capital state, but in the capital state it's where you are producing all the waste actually. Almost 80% of the waste produced in Uganda come from Kampala here.
Right.
So you again have all the flower farms, mostly they are around Lake Victoria. And all of them just dump all their
effluents.
Into the lake. So whether we are building Karuma, whether we are building Bujagari, whether we are building Ayago,
we are killing Lake Victoria.
Yes, we have to take into account. You remember the other time when people died to save Bujagari?
Yes.
Or rather to save Mabra forest. So if you really have to, for your forest to stay, people must first die.
So our mindset has to change. We need to get born again and think about the environment and caring for it.
And I think that's why you hear the government say no. They may be coming up with a road that punishes
economic saboteurs.
So you will block sometimes if you talk like conserve the wetland, conserve the forest, you are an economic saboteur.
Let's talk about something that's less emotional. Let's talk about this calls for a probe. So you think we should have another probe into the energy sector? Briefly.
For me, I think it is useless actually.
Yeah.
Because if you look at
it, on the show.
It is useless, and I think that is one way. Instead of the money going to be used for some constructive things, we spend it.
People will get allowances.
Because I remember during the Salim Saleh Commission, the money that they were reporting is that the ERA was paying 250,000 to the chair, then 230,000 to the other members, and then paying for all the costs. So along the way, all these commissions actually take a lot of money, and all the reports that they produce with very good recommendations, we don't get anything.
Right.
I imagine if they were to if they were to implement the report of Salim Saleh, most of these problems, because
it was a good report.
It was a wonderful report because it was actually telling government that Umeme has been actually getting money without anything, without investing. Umeme was actually reporting that it was it used to get in the first year of its contract, it was getting 180 days.
Yes.
For it to be given not to pay Uganda Electricity Transmission Company because it was waiting for customers to pay. But I don't think that Umeme allows people for 380 days to pay.
Well, maybe they do, but that still is inefficient.
Again, it was also reporting that actually it was used. So when it was given those days, it was also given an interest of between 11 to 12% on the money that it would be using until the customers pay.
Right.
But what happened is that the report discovered that Umeme was using that most of the customers in Uganda for electricity, they pay within the first 2 weeks after the billing.
Okay.
And again, most of the Umeme was not actually using its own money. It was using actual deposits by what? Customers.
All right.
Yes. So it would get an interest.
Okay.
When it is not using its own money.
So you're saying, Mr. Kamisha, we don't need another probe. Let's implement the Salim Saleh probe.
Yes.
It covers all the areas.
For me, I think that is the best that we should do, and we should all join the efforts to make sure that all the recommendations are implemented.
This is Spectrum. You can call in now. Our question tonight: MP is calling for a fresh probe into the energy crisis, into the energy sector in the light of the current crisis. What are their concerns and possible lessons the country can take to avoid another crisis? You can call in now: 0414-348-111, 0312-260-390, 0791-909-909. Spectrum, hello? Hello? Yes, your name?
Hello?
Spectrum, your name?
My name is Emmanuel.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask the gentleman in the studio whether he has a copy. I'm a member of parliament, first of all. Whether he has a copy of the Salim Saleh report, and that report he talks about the technical implementation report, whose recommendations have just been mentioning, so that we can have access to some of these reports.
Thank you. Spectrum, hello?
Hello.
Yes, your name?
My name is Sinje. But in fact, my simple question is, have we ever tried to know who Umeme is? And how much money are they collecting monthly from customers? Thank you.
Spectrum, hello. Hello. Okay, Spectrum, hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is Wamboga.
Yes, Peter.
I would like to thank Edmond very much for choosing this topic because the energy sector is very critical in the country's economic and social development. But also, most importantly, it is affecting a huge number of people in terms of industrial production, in terms of welfare of the people, and also commercial activities in the country. Now, Dickens is my good friend with what told us to be on the energy issue. But Dickens, I want to tell you that one, the energy sector has not been given adequate attention in the results. Why? If you look around, there is no research institute on energy in this country. Like the agricultural sector has been sustained by research, and other sectors are being sustained by research, like water sector. Medical, sector or health sector has been sustained by research institutes or research for new ways, for solving problems, for finding alternatives. But the energy sector has no research institute at all in Uganda. So much of the things are guesswork. You've outlined various potential areas for energy sources, which is true. Solar, wind, we have thermal energy from hot springs. But there is no research that has been done to quantify the amount of this resource. How can it be turned into energy, and how sustainable is it? For how long can we use it?
All right, Peter. Thank you. Very, very important question. The comment. Spectrum, hello.
Hello.
Yes, your name?
My name Mgerwa Bashir Webyankuye Sekanyini Mitiana. Njagala kwebaza abakulu abo okuteesa obulungi naye tukyalina buzibu bunene nnyo. Tusaba busabi tusabire eggwanga nakusabira gavumenti yaffe etereere naye wotunula kati ng'abakulu abo kyebogeddeko ky'amasannyalaze naffe kennyini wotunulya waliwo akaalo kaffe k'Ebulyankuyege tusaba transfoma y'amasannyalaze naye twakagisabira emyaka 5 nga babaka buli kisi mubaka gwe tubeera naye eno tatufaako mwe mulina omubaka waffe nnyini Kaddu Mukasa miliyoni 5 ge twamugamba gana miliyoni 2 ge baamuwa singa yagakwata n'agatuleetera mu constituency n'agulamu transformer ekyo kyaligenze mu gallery mweri mu parliament ne tumanya omubaka ateesa naye okukwata bukwasi sente n'ozizaayo kyo tekiwa makulu mu member wa parliament kuteesa.
Okay. Spectrum, hello.
Hello.
Yes.
My name is Joseph Ogwapit. I've listened with a lot of interest what Mr. Kamugisha is saying. My heart is broken. Mr. Kamugisha said he talked about Hillary Net presenting a technical report to Parliament concerning the building of Kira Dam. And I remember watching that presentation in Parliament. And immediately after that, I think, I don't know when, but Mr. Nek was appointed minister. And since then, he has kept quiet completely. He will never mention anything concerning that. I'm afraid, following Mr. Kamugisha's presentation, he is also going to be appointed. And he will never say anything concerning what he's saying now. Please, Mr. Kamugisha, what you say and all those revelations are very, very important. Please do not keep quiet about what you are talking about now.
Spectrum, hello.
Hello.
Your name?
This is Sheikh Mugenya Soka Ibrahim NTV. I thank our colleague in the house today. But first and foremost, what you have also to discuss about, it is true that you have brought this topic to discuss about that. Now today we are talking about the electricity and what have you. But we have also to go back to replan for this country. If at all today we are debating about the power in the country or and others, so what about the rest? I'm assuring the government that it is good you have already liberalized the what? All of the which we are the government sector to the private sector. But you have also the essential sectors like the electricity or the power sector. There I can cite an example of Tororo. Tororo, there was an incident of the hospital. They had a big bill for the what? For the hospital. What the women boss did, they just disconnected the what? The wire. Suppose those people who were in the
Thank you, Mr. So I think your point is made. Thank you. Very, very clear point. You've explained it very, very well. Mr. Kamjisha.
Yeah.
Let's start with a copy of the salary report. Do you have a copy and the other technical report that you cited? Do you have them and can you avail them to MPs?
Yes, what I have is the technical committee report. That is that one. And the Salim Sari report, I just got half of it. That's what I have because I also got it from behind doors. You can't get it.
Oh, it's a secret document.
Yeah, it's a secret document, and actually the technical committee report I got it because Afiego filed the case in the High Court, so ERA had no option but to
release
put it there. We are in this case in the High Court. We are asking ERA to avail us with the full report of Salim Sari.
And the new law has just been passed on disclosure.
Yeah.
So are you able? Can Afiego pass this to Parliament?
Yeah, actually, I think that's what I'm going to do.
You're going to do it.
Yes.
You can promise that you're going to provide.
I'm promising that we are going to do it.
Okay. Yeah. Mr. Sinjo was asking the question: who's women and how much do they collect monthly? Is that information that's available in the public domain?
Of course, nobody knows. Actually, recently we are able to get the articles, the memorandum articles of Umeme. But it almost every 6 months it has been changing its directors.
Well, the last time we checked, who owned it? You can tell us.
I think right now it is Marwana. I'm not so sure, but
go on, sir. Ugandans now.
But when it was beginning, they were the British, the Australian, so you can't know who is now maybe actually.
Oh, it keeps mutating.
Yeah.
Maybe to prevent catching the virus.
Yes.
Let's talk about research. We don't have research in the energy sector. We don't know whether we can deal with it. Maybe one day somebody will import solar panels that end up not working.
Of course, I think what Peter was saying, it is very, very true. You have Electricity Regulatory Authority that is supposed to regulate. But if you go and ask what have they been doing in terms of research, they have not been doing anything. And about a year ago, I actually met Engineer Sebo, and I was asking, how do you regulate if you don't do research on what is happening in the sector?
What did he say to that question?
Well, he said, there are no funds for research, and as a regulatory body, there is no function for them to do research. So some other institutions of government should do research and bring the evidence.
So they should create another one on top of the 5 that they have.
Yeah, right? I think so. But you know what? I think what Peter was saying, like in that committee report of Salim Sari, they were looking at meters, and ERA was saying actually it is also not so sure whether the meters are okay.
Well, there's also a problem with them. It looks like we're moving backwards.
Yes.
Instead of people getting the individual meters, they want them pulled together, which is probably going to create a crisis. We thought we were going to get prepaid meters where you pay for your, you use what you pay for. Now we're moving backwards into group billing.
No, but again, that's what happens with Umeme. It actually
takes us backwards.
It just takes us backwards, and the reason why by now, almost after 7 years, it has not given us prepaid meters. It's that there is
in Rwanda they have prepaid meters,
but in Uganda here the reason why I told you that they are allowed to use capital to use working capital. And they are also allowed to use the customers' deposits.
Right. And
they are allowed rebates. And they are allowed deductions. They are compensated for the losses.
Right.
So for that matter,
they don't have an incentive.
There is no incentive for them to give prepaid, because that is a technology that requires money. And if the investor is not willing to spend money,
forget about it.
Forget about it.
Taste it when you
so they can say it has started, but it will take years for Ugandans to get prepaid.
Mr. Bashir Mugerwa, in a village in I forget the name, the transformer took 2 years to install. Is that part of the 5 years to install a transformer? Is that normal? Or what is the rural electrification agency doing? REA.
No, of course, like the time the transformer takes. I really don't think what does it take really to buy a transformer?
So it should not take 5 years.
It should not take 5 years. But you find if the regulator and these government companies which are responsible to ensure that the companies work according to their agreed standards, they don't take it upon themselves for those companies to work. It can even take 10. But under most circumstances, why should they?
So if it takes 5 years, you're
Yes.
lucky. Celebrate with the party. And your neck is quiet. Will you be quiet if you're appointed tomorrow? Now, you might receive a phone call as you leave this place. Will you also fall quiet, or will you continue to speak on behalf of the tortured masses?
Of course, I'm not so sure whether actually they are.
As you walk down the stairs, a phone call might come in.
No, but I would really believe there are some government officials who are a bit very confident and they are still principled. It is not that every person in the government is really not principled. There are some who are principled, but for NEC, I think
Maybe his database is too full. He has too much work to do.
for NEC, you have to sympathize with him. He was given the Ministry of Energy. He actually started very well by instituting these committees because he instituted the first phase, which was supposed to look at the tariffs.
Right.
The second phase was to look at the structuring of the energy sector. Actually, it resulted into merging of these some of these government companies, generation, distribution, transmission, under the Ministry of Energy, so that at least there is coordination. But now the man is what? Is off. He was fought by the permanent secretaries. He was fought by everybody.
People from below.
So you can't say that actually Hiraronek didn't try. But if again you look at the conclusions of the technical committee, which included error, say actually there is no need for forensic evidence, forensic audit, because that's what the Hiraronek wanted. To audit all these companies, the fuel they use, how they report the bidding, how they report the losses.
We have to go.
But they said no.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dickens Kamjisha, very insightful, Executive Director of AFIEGO, that's the African Institute for Energy Governance. Thank you for coming to Spectrum. So,
thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Edmond Chizito. We'll be back tomorrow. Up next is the news in the English language.
Let's talk about the home of your dreams and how you plan to finance it. Let's